Hi, third and fourth graders. This is Mrs. Bainey. We are going to be working on something a little bit different this year. I've never done these before. Our very own, get your own sketchbook. And I've just finished making these today. The second grade, yours will be yellow, and first grade, yours will be orange. So what you're going to do is, I want you to be working, you're going to work on the back of yours, and you're going to create your own name design based off of an artist that we're going to be talking about for your classes, and his name is Adam Pendleton. And let's see, your materials that I'm going to give you are your sketchbooks, and then I either gave you, I'll bring you down here. I either gave you a calligraphy pen or a calligraphy marker, or I gave you some other type of marker I had. Anything that I had that was some type of black marker, that's what I gave you. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is, I want you to lightly with your pencil, you're just going to write your first name. So whatever your first name. Now, this is very important before I start. Do not cover up in your creation. Do not cover up the name of the number of your sketchbook and whatever your teacher code. So if you have either 3P, or sorry, you guys aren't third grade. If you have 2G, 2S, 1K, or 1L, that's your teacher code. If you have that, don't cover any of that stuff up at the bottom. Okay? So now that I've covered that, you're going to go ahead and use your pencil and lightly, you're going to draw your name. So that way you can make sure you're going to fit it all in your project. I'm going to press a little harder so then that way that I know that you can see. And I'm also going to use all capitals. And I'm doing this upside down, so I'm hoping that it looks right. So like I said, for yourself, you're going to press lightly. I'm only doing this so it will show up for you. Okay, so once I am done with my pencil, just like I said, that way you know you're going to fit it all in. I want you to take whatever I gave you, and you're going to make some type of design on your project, okay? So you're going to even write all over where your name is, just some type of design. I am going to be posting a couple examples of Adam's work, so then that way you can see he does things with like lines in the background. So remember, the background is what's going to be behind your letters. Even though we're going to write on top of them right now, that's what will be behind it, and then we're going to write your name with the marker over top of it. Okay? So you could, like I said, do a mixture of circles or lines. I'm kind of going to do a mixture. And I know definitely first grade, our last project, we talked about lines. So you should be definitely familiar with that. And I know second grade, we've talked about lines before. So they can be straight, they can be vertical, they can be horizontal, they can be thick or thin. So just think about what kind of line you want to create. You could make a zigzag line, you could make a wavy line. So think about what kind you want to create. And then so I made my lines, and then I'm going to add, he kind of has circles over his, and I'm going to use a marker like what you have here. Now if you have a black marker at home that works better and you like that one better, that is fine. Go ahead. And I want you to take your time on what you decide to do for your design. Now, if you have the calligraphy pen, that has two sides to it. If you have one just like this, it will have a thicker side and a thinner side. I would use a thinner side for your design part, and then I would use the thicker part to write your name. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, like I said, I'm going to use the thicker side to now go over my name. Now, you want it to have a look like you just painted it with like a big brush and you painted all your letters. So you want to make sure your letters look thick. So I'm going to go over my name that I have already written in pencil and go over my lines a few times. Like I said, to keep it nice and thick. That way my name will stick out from the background that I already created, that design. You want to get all of your letters finished. Sometimes you may have to give your marker a little bit of a break. Just when you use it a lot, especially at one time, sometimes it starts to dry out. Okay, so I've finished mine. I just want to show you a few quick examples that I will be posting of Adam's. So these are kind of two of his works. Now he has a lot of artwork out there, but these are just kind of two examples that I wanted to show you. This is obviously the example that I was kind of looking at and kind of creating, but I was also using the circles that he had over there. So like I said, I was mainly inspired by this artwork of his, and that's kind of what I tried to create on mine. Like I said, be creative. Take your time. I know you guys are all amazing artists, so make sure, like I said, just come up with what you're going to do for your background. Write your name in pencil, and then draw your background, and then go over your name and make sure you make it nice and thick. Okay? Have good craftsmanship. So that's taking your time, being intentional. So when you make your mark, knowing what mark you want to make, and then make that mark. And like I said, remember all the different lines that we've talked about in the past years, or especially what ones we just talked about for our last projects that you can use to make your project. Okay? I can't wait to see what you create.